I mean, probably how the Hunter Dickinson visits go to Kansas and Kentucky, I would say is a big one for me. He's already visited Georgetown, Maryland. Villanova's in the mix too. You know, if I'm Hunter, and Rob and I have talked about this, like as much as you and I like carrying water for Cooley, I wouldn't go to Georgetown if I were Hunter. I just don't think they're there. I don't think they're there yet. They could probably offer as much money, NIL, as any of those schools. But I just think you're going to a program right now that, you know, the guards are and I love Rowan, but he's still unproven right now. Jaden Epps, not really a point guard. You know, Kentucky, man, I just can't imagine playing with DJ Wagner, Dillingham, Edwards, all of those dudes, because I don't know how much Hunter's ever going to see the ball other than going to get it off the glass. Maryland is good. And again, that would be an interesting one because he could be close to home at Georgetown, Maryland. Maryland didn't recruit him when Turge was there, obviously. We know plenty about that. And like Villanova, if it were Villanova with Jay Wright, I think it would be a slam dunk. I think it would be done immediately. But it's not. And we don't know how good Villanova is going to be, even though they bring back Justin Moore. I also don't know if they got enough NIL money to pay Justin Moore and Hunter Dickinson at Villanova. So
yeah, and Kansas, Eric Dixon's coming back. So like, why if right. Eric Dixon and Hunter Dickinson like play the exact same? Like, I don't know how you make that work. The Maryland one is fascinating too. Like, who's recruiting at Maryland right now? Willard lost his entire staff. Is it him and a bunch of GAs that are taking? No,
he's got one. Visit? He's still got one assistant. Who does he have?
David Cox.
Oh, he's still got David Cox. So Cox has got to be doing the heavy lifting because Willard's too busy drinking coffee in the morning and wine at night.
I don't blame him. Sounds like a great life to me.
Now wait a minute, Rob. Rob, you know, at Rob Dauster on Twitter, you had a tweet last night. What Jeff said Villanova couldn't afford Dickinson. Well, who can afford Dickinson? Wait.
Do not say that number. We don't need to go down that rabbit hole.
What
Fanta.
Number?
I'll tell you off the air. I don't want to perpetuate that. Fanta's out here Fanta's out here. You know what Fanta's doing right now? Fanta's doing what I did to you when we had the UConn pod when I was trying to get you to say something about Adama Sanogo.
Producer Dagan.
That was wrong.
Dagan, he perpetuated it last night.
I did, but I called it out. I called it anyway. There was very clearly some fake news going on with the pricing involving Hunter Dickinson's recruitment.
Yeah,
we found the fake news, Goodman. We found the fake news, and
who was the originator of the fake news?
I don't want to say the account name, but it was okay. Yeah, and it was we got them to delete the tweet, so that was a good thing.
Rob, where do you lean? Where do you lean with Dickinson? I want to know.
Well, for starters, I know he's got this visit to Kentucky coming up, and I understand why you want to put Kentucky like in the mix there. But if I am John Calipari with the guards that I have on that roster, I am doing everything I can to get Oscar Tshiebwe to come back because you want someone that doesn't need offense run through them, that is just going to go get all the missed shots. And when you have DJ Wagner and Dillingham and all of those dudes there's going to be a bunch of like ISO missed jumpers, right? Those guys are going to make a lot of shots, but there's going to be a lot of missed jumpers there, and you want somebody who can go clean up that mess. Oscar Tshiebwe is the best 5-man that you could possibly have on that team right now. Don't spend the money on Dickinson. Go out and whatever dollar you would spend on Dickinson, go spend that on getting Oscar Tshiebwe to come back.
Oscar's gone. He's gone.
Let me tell you guys about our sponsor for today's episode, Athletic Greens. I started taking AG1 a few weeks back. When we get in the middle of college hoop season, it can be hard for me to eat and drink as healthy as I probably should be, especially in late February and March when the schedule gets really busy. But I found that I've felt better as I've made AG1 a part of my daily routine. I take AG1 in the afternoons after the coffee is worn off and once the itis post-lunch is kind of set in. And what I found, my energy levels are up. It's improved my digestion. And as a result, I'm not only more efficient and productive in the most important time of the year for me and for the field of 68, but I'm working out more consistently. I just feel better. AG1 is so much more than just a greens powder. It's comprehensive health and the power of habit in one. Covering my nutritional basis for the day literally could not be easier, which is why I trust Athletic Greens. I just mix one small scoop of the AG1 formula with water, and I drink it every single afternoon. Done, just like that. I also like that it only costs $3 a day. The price is right. If a comprehensive solution is what you need for your supplement routine, then Athletic Greens is the answer. They are giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Free! Just go to athleticgreens.com/field68. That's athleticgreens.com/field68. The link is in the description below. Check it out. Support the Field of 68 and feel better about yourself.
He's gone. Bye-bye. I just can't imagine he's coming back now. Like every sign I've heard now is Oscar's going pro.
Yeah, I haven't heard any differently. But I do think that if you're the number that he can get from Kentucky is going to be like 5 years of whatever he can make going pro. So just
I get
that's
it,
what
but
I
he's
would
already
do.
made more. He's already made more, $2.5 million. So I'm sure for him, he's just like, you know what? I've banked so much more money than I ever thought I would. I'm going to move forward, and I'm still going to make good money playing pro ball wherever it is.
Sure.
Hopefully, I'm going to give it a shot here. What more can I do?
Yeah,
Well,
I said this the other day. If I'm Hunter Dickinson, I'm going to Kansas. There's no,
I agree.
There's no if,
It's
ands,
a
or
no-brainer.
Yeah, they need a big man, right? They just added a shooter. They just added Nick Timberlake, the Towson transfer, who's a very good, like, complementary piece, who's probably going to step into their starting lineup. They have, as Goodman pointed out the other day, one of the best, like, ball screen, most unselfish point guards in America in DeJuan Harris.
The
best.
The
best. They have a 4-man that could do all the junkyard dog stuff that you need in KJ Adams. What they need is a guy that they can just use to seal in the post, that catches it, turns around, and lays it in, right? Bill Self turned David McCormick, all due respect to David McCormick, he turned him into a guy that could get 20 and 10 in the national title game, right? Like, they're 20 and 10 in the Final Four. I forget when
for like 2 weeks, David McCormick was great.
Yeah. So if you're Hunter Dickinson and you see that, like, why aren't you why? I understand why he wants to go on all these visits and, like, get through the recruitment, boost up the money. Like, you create competition, all of a sudden you're able to get more. Trust me, I get all that. He's got to go to Kansas. Like, that's it's so obvious.
Too.
It's so obvious to me.
Well, I just think the development by the best coach and the best point guard, to me, like, don't make a decision based on 100 or 200. And I don't know. Kansas might pay more money than those other schools. I have no idea what the NIL deal is for those schools yet. But to me, if I'm Hunter Dickinson, I'm not basing it on 100 grand or 200 grand for NIL. I'm basing it on, all right, I'm going to give myself the best chance to try to make a roster in the NBA. Like, obviously, no, he's not going to be a starter in the NBA. He knows that. But, like, can he make a roster and make a career out of being a backup big for 10 or 12 years in the league? I don't know the answer to that, but give yourself the best opportunity to do that.
You know what's been an interesting takeaway from just watching NBA playoff games and talking with just other people who are watching all these games is it's not like there's this abundance of young guys in the playoffs who are making much of an impact. I mean, you don't even need more than one hand to count the rookies. For that matter, the second-year guys who are making some huge impact. The guys who made the impact are on teams that just aren't there yet, and that's part of the NBA thing. But, like, we talk about what can they be in the NBA. Like, that's not going to get figured out year one.
No,
mostly again, because
these bigs know. These bigs know how the game's changed, so they understand. Like, if they make the NBA, they're going to be sitting on the bench a good amount of the time. But still, you could be sitting on the bench if you're Hunter Dickinson. You know what that paycheck is? Like, he could make, off a 10-year career, Hunter Dickinson could still make $50 million